many years.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, we can go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Public Service Committee meeting. We don't have February minutes. I guess I should have done those. Sorry.
Well, I missed the meeting, but I'll have Chris send me the video.
We have
So much.
department head reports, Park and Recreation. Landon, you want to go ahead with your report?
Some new sports. Spring volleyball is now in session. 184 participants this year, which is 37 more than last season, which puts us at 20 teams, which is 4 more teams than last year. Practices began last week. Games begin at the end of the month, and then we'll wrap up at the end of April. Pool, still looking to hire some lifeguards there. Must be 15 years old and able to obtain Red Cross lifeguard certification. We do reimburse for the cost of the class once hired. Then there's a link for an online application they can fill out. Ball courts, installation to begin in 1 to 2 weeks, weather pending. And we also applied for an AARP grant for additional benches with shade. We'll find out in May if we are awarded that grant. No matching funds are needed. Parking lot expansion project, corner of Park Avenue and Hawthorne Avenue there. It's the parking for pool, basketball court, skate park, and pickleball courts. I'm looking at around 20,000 square feet of asphalt, resulting in 75 or so parking spots, new parking spots. Rough estimated cost is around 185,000. So formally present that next month. Literally just got those details at about 3:30 this evening. Going to host Happy Hour again, which is our 18 and over egg hunt at Cowan Park. Set the date for Saturday, April 4th from 5:30 to 7:30, with the egg hunt happening at 7 o'clock. This year there will be 3 age divisions, which will alleviate some of the problems we ran into last year. We are in the process of getting prizes from local businesses. Plan on having some food trucks there, music, and some cornhole to buy the time until the egg hunt starts. We are hosting movie day here at City Hall, showing a Minecraft movie on Tuesday, March 17th at 11 a.m. in the public auditorium. We will provide lunch and popcorn for all those who attend. And then just a little update, Parks and Rec vehicles. We'll be looking for possible replacement options as both work trucks are starting to show their age. One's a 2003 F-150 and one's a 2013 F-150. And both were purchased in 2018. And then last but not least, gym space. Our youth sports programs are quickly outgrowing the limited gym space that we get. So additional gym time at the elementary school gym for rec volleyball this year came with a stipulation that our gym time might be pushed back if a school team needs to use the gym due to the weather. And that ended up happening our very first Tuesday practice night. Luckily, it hasn't happened anymore. But I know with rain tomorrow, could get bumped. But any Tuesday or Thursday, we try to start a little bit earlier to get teams in there and get them done before it gets too late. However, if a school team needs the gym, we get bumped and we have to notify 12 teams or so that, hey, your practices are getting moved. And they do with that. So, in talks with St. Pat's on outfitting their gym to make it more suitable for our younger teams. Some of the obvious cons of this are the cost to outfit, the cost to rent the place, and the unknown future of the property. I know I've brought it up before about it's time to build our own gym, but without kind of hearing it from council, are they ready to kind of take on some? I know with the police building being built and fire looking for possible new building in the future. Where does the gym sit? We've got the low quote, we've got a high quote, kind of in the past couple of years that we've kind of presented. So
we have. How does St. Pat's feel about coming back? Do you know anything on that? Like, is that a pretty futuristic, pretty close?
I have no information on that.
Gotcha. Because it's the best spot.
and that's the thing, and they could probably only give us, we talked about renting. I need it for next basketball season, so starting in November again. We kind of gave the dates, but she couldn't even lock me into those dates yet. So,
It would be nice if we could find a season rate compared to,
Well, as we get into this, like I said, last year was kind of for the moment, hey, gym available. I need it then. Kind of when the school, pushed us back an hour from our normal start time, stuff like that. So that, more, hopefully by starting the talks now, we can maybe get into something. But I mean, the way the gym's outfitted, it's not even suitable for rec basketball. All their hoops are permanent 10 feet. So
You made those changes already. You haven't like done.
we
the-
did basically some changes to use some existing hoops that we can hang that we would use it at the Vineyard Church. So we were taking them to St. Pat's, using them there, taking them down, taking them to the Vineyard, taking them down, taking them back to St. Pat's for the next night, stuff like that. So,
We're talking about outfitting St. Pat's like with.
yeah, to where they kind of work like the elementary school, middle school gyms now, where they have the attachment in between the backboard and the support pole that allows us to raise and lower them from 8 feet to 10 feet and so forth, using a little hook and a drill piece. So
Would any of the outfitting be for volleyball items also? Like, do you need spots for pole or?
they're set up well as far as volleyball goes in St. Pat's. They have as far as practice goes, I mean, they got all the holes in the floor and stuff set up, but they're not. They don't have any floor lining for if they run sideways, if they run 2 courts at once. So same thing with their main basketball. The main court's set up with all the markings, but the side, if you try to run sideways, there's no floor markings in there or anything. The biggest thing is practice times. As far as getting in the school on the weekends, they're a lot more flexible then. None of the school teams practice on the weekends. If anything, they're playing games, stuff like that. So the biggest thing is the practice times during the week, trying to get kids home at a decent hour, stuff like that.
It seems logical that, hey, kind of putting in some upgrades, maybe you'd see some discounts.
Well, we've talked it, and that's the thing, and who I'm talking to is the office manager, who's the middle. She's the middle person, so then she kind of reports it to.
Another guy up top that's principal or?
This is not even through the school; it's through the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yep.
So she should be getting back to me and kind of see what's going, because if it is a project where we're going to outfit the gym, definitely want to get it done over the summer. That was one of the hangups was the turnaround time of trying to get that done before basketball started this past season, and they weren't able to do that. So then that's where we went the other route of just purchasing some different rims and stuff like that.
But I think Landon's right. I mean, love to have some direction from city council. I mean,
I've got
Is
a
it-
question about
Mhm.
that. I've been on council now about a year. And right when I first started, Rex brought the fellas in that had it was sort of like a canvas dome proposal, and the price on that, which probably changed significantly in a year. But what are the other options? Or, I mean, I'm interested in
Mhm.
exploring ideas because we need something, but I don't even quite know where
So
to
the other
start.
option was a pole barn structure, and I think when people heard the word pole barn, they got turned off right away. This isn't your pole barn that you see out behind someone's house or anything like that. A lot of these sports venues are structured like this. They are considered pole barns, but
Mhm.
inside they get decorated stuff like that. The place we toured over in Hilliard. I mean, you walk inside and you're just amazed. They had 3 basketball courts there, the layouts, everything like that, your bleachers. And it was when we were tearing down the school next door is when kind of it was presented, and it was basically a 2 basketball court gymnasium with chance for 4 volleyball courts to be there. Curtains to divide it all, and then you had your restrooms, and then you had your concession area and stuff like that.
I think really it'd be working backwards, right? So we could build it probably for a few $1 million. We could build it for 30 million, right? I mean, it just depends what you want, right? Do we want just a couple basketball courts? Or do we want a couple basketball courts and a little workout place and a walking track up top?
A pool.
Or do we want a pool?
Yeah.
So that's where this all has to get nailed down. Every time you add something, it's going to get more and more
Yeah.
expensive. So, that's where I think it's really working backwards, right? Say, hey, we're looking to do X amount of dollars towards, and then let us come up with a plan of what the best bang for the buck is.
I think the canvas dome included a pool, didn't it? I can't
Yes.
remember what the,
There was two.
There's what?
There was two, wasn't there? One with,
Yeah.
one without.
I think it had it in there. It just said, it was a little generic. It just said pool area, aquatic area,
Yeah.
over there. But in that little design, it would have been small, and stuff like that. So it wouldn't have been really an area, I don't think, that swim teams could utilize for practice like we talked about, or, you know, if you're trying to allow physical therapy from the hospital to kind of use it, you'd be limiting, I think, some of the public from coming in at that time, stuff like that.
Ways for us to negate the overhead costs, like also. You know?
Possible, yeah.
Things like that, school's paying for a swim space, that's a piece of money. Now,
I think that's
Do it
okay
any
money.
of-
The big money would be basketball and volleyball. Getting those,
And yeah,
getting those
absolutely.
tournaments in there. Though, that's where you make your money is you get a weekend tournament and they bring in people from all over the place and we rent the whole place and we do concessions and
Mhm.
The gate fee concessions or team feed in or stuff
so
like
I mean, yeah, we have our bare basics, kind of basketball, volleyball, kind of our general sports for the city, but after that, I don't know if you guys feel comfortable, but us creating the entire plan for the thing, I'm not gonna say, hey, here's my plan, it's the best. So my thought is that this is where if we are ready to start the thought and planning on it, would be have first kind of community meeting offering, hey, let's get some thoughts from the people of the city.
Well, that's been online for years already, right? They turned down the big.
Give me a chance. Give me a chance. That's all I'd ask. You know, if you can say something all kinds of in the past, but I'd
But
say
you make,
that I'd put
for
something.
every
out.
5 you make happy, there's gonna be 5 that.
And it's
Yeah.
not even trying to make happy. It's just putting it out there saying, hey, you know, what's our thoughts? And that at least gives us something of, hey, who showed up to talk about, all right, how do we want to fund this thing? Because you can say whatever you want to, but when it comes down to how we're going to pay for it, that's going to be the biggest part that we want to know what the rest of the city's thinking. You know, we have the out of city income tax deduction that hopefully we can start getting that thing back, but it's going to be going by vote now compared to us changing it how it went before. And so that's one that might be able to kind of help if we turn that to people working outside of London. But
What kind of,
I think just offering to
is the
people.
city able to afford debt services, or how much could they afford as far as building a community center? Like overall cost?
Stations done.
That'd be more of a finance question.
That's a
Ken.
finance and a Kenna question, but you know, it would be debt, right? You know, we're not
Yeah.
gonna pay for it up front. It
Right.
would be debt, and that's where I think we kind of come up with a number, right? And then with that number, it would be, hey, we just want to do the gyms or, you know, nothing too crazy, no pool yet, nothing like that. And then work backwards and then see what kind of rate we can get, see what kind of debt service it would be. And then,
See what kind of amenities we could get for the,
You'd possibly even put it into phases as well, yeah.
or you could add on to.
Yeah, well, yeah, any structure you can kind of build with plans.
I
for
like
the
that
future
idea.
to Tie into it and.
well,
and stuff.
the pole barn, whatever you would call it, was our thought, is you bring in two gyms and then, you know, you can just continue to build off the back of it.
And I was seeing that also the spot that we were thinking is still right over here. Is that kind of where you're really looking for or hoping for? Because I mean, that's all in this guy a little bit
Well,
later, but
we're trying to make this something, to grow in the future, to host these, weekend tournaments for volleyball, for basketball, stuff like that, parking. That's your biggest thing, is parking. So obviously if it goes over there, parking's gonna be limited.
Plus, if you're adding on, that's kind of a
And
small
then
space.
now,
It's-
yeah, there's only so much property that we own here. Merrimack it's a vast area. But truly figuring out what's buildable out there, there is no, or very limited utilities, I should say, out there. So with that would come a lot more cost of getting it, you know, ready out there for a structure to be put up.
I mean, there's land, there is land around town that we could build it. That's the least of my worries. The biggest thing is does city council want to fund it? I mean,
not this year.
why?
Well, so this,
Main
the
answer.
speech happens every year,
Yeah.
And it's just not this year. It's not
Yeah.
this year.
I'm in
Well,
favor of
so-
exploring some ideas here,
I'd
but I
say
don't know if
getting
we
the
need to
idea.
offer some guidance before we throw it out to the city residents, because they're gonna be all over the place, and I think we need to look at cost, look at what we can do with our current budget.
I mean, if you throw it out to the people, if you threw it out to the citizens, what you want, I want basketball courts, I want a workout facility.
Yeah.
I like an indoor, like.
They don't want any taxes.
Right, so, you know, I
And I
hate to
get
throw it
that.
out there and say, okay, and then all of a sudden we build it and it's 2 gyms, right?
Yeah. I just feel like we need to get, I don't know, a
Design
ballpark, some
plans.
ideas.
Like
What could
several
we
different
afford?
ones.
What are our options for paying for it? Because I'm still learning all this too. I mean, we've got some money in the budget and can allocate that differently, maybe a little bit differently each year. Would we have to take it to the voters again? And, you know, what are our options there? And then also what are our costs from the, you know, you may have some of those figures from the pole barn to the mega tent
Canvas
with the
One-
pool in it.
Want to maybe put that as a next agenda item for us to have as a, hey, let's sit and talk about what each specific things are. that-
Agenda for council or
Just
for this
nope,
meeting?
Just here. for
Or
us
do we need
next
to go to
month,
Parks and Rec meeting and go over it? I'm not sure
Or
what the next step
finance.
It's
is.
at 4:00. so-
Or fine.
I mean, do you want an updated kind of cost on what it would take for a pole barn structure? I mean, that cost was 3 years old.
How much trouble is it to update that? Because
I mean, you have
especially
to-
if
I mean,
we
we're-
couldn't do anything for another whole
And you don't
year.
just, like Tommy said, put it out and get a bunch of things back. You don't do that. You gotta talk
Right.
to somebody, you probably gotta pay somebody. to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So do we need to come up with a budget first and then see what we can do with our budget? I'm just not sure which,
Once again, this year with the police station, we've seen how much kind of money put back into that already that we're kind of over.
what's still
And
within
so-
budget, isn't it?
Well, this would not
Just
be,
now.
let's just take, for example, you guys are like, okay, let's go forward and we talk to the auditor and let's do $5 million. It's not gonna be this year.
Oh, yeah.
You're not gonna pay your debt this year. So, you know, you keep saying, not this year, not this year. It wouldn't be this year anyway. I mean, you wouldn't even start your debt service until next year.
This year, let's start looking for what kind of costs then. And kind of, yep, the idea is what would come with the main basics for covering, hey, the basketball courts, volleyball, something for that. Kind of what our step up would be if we wanted to go with some kind of pool idea. And,
So-
you know, just start getting those ideas together. I think our first start would be getting just the engineering designs. And so probably looking for what a community center with our main basic items. And I'll let you kind of say, hey, what kind of structure you want to make it? Because that would be, I think, what you would like to do.
So I think we should talk to the auditor and maybe get an idea of a ballpark figure to start with and then see what we could do with that.
Yep.
Now, is that something we should do at finance or should some of us try to talk to her separately? I'm just not sure the proper way to
We'll ask her
gather
later.
information.
We can just ask her later. Finance tonight?
I don't know if she'll be here. Okay,
Okay.
it's not on the agenda, but
Well,
we
she-
could at least,
She'd probably have to explore the numbers in here, I
yeah,
guess.
we
but-
could mention it
Yep.
and maybe talk about it next month.
Yep.
But I think we're all probably in favor of exploring the ideas and trying to get something built.
Yes, but coming up with the
everyone.
idea, I think. is
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
Okay with that.
well,
I
and how you
think that would
pay
be
for it.
core of us. Yeah.
We still got the sidewalk situation to figure out too at some point, don't we? And that, I think that's a pretty big deal to figure out how to pay for. So yeah, okay, well, we'll bring it up at finance and ask her to research and put that on the agenda for the next finance meeting. And in the meantime, you know, let me know if there's something I can do to help get information or see what needs to be done, because I'm a little bit clueless on where to start
Like,
with
I mean,
this.
I'd like to do the community meeting thing. Yes, when we have, I'd say at least 3 options. Kind of, here's our main basic package, here's your middle,
Mhm.
some, but here's with fitness center. and the rest of things, bells and whistles.
To be taking minutes, I'm just up here talking.
Wish we could get St. Pat's and just add.
Okay. Any other questions for Landon? Or do you have anything else?
That's all I got.
Nothing else? Okay, Bill, you wanna go with
My report in front of you, but Strauss was here to answer some questions that's been raised on Facebook about road projects. that
Hey, they were raised at
supposedly
city
were-
council too.
Okay, well, Tommy, you want to?
So how I feel, I'm glad you guys came in tonight. Thank you very much. Hey, bullheaded. That's how it should be. But looking at some of the roads out there, Toland Street. Now, when I looked at the fiber matting, how that's kind of done, it has the actual fiber within it that, you know, gives it that strength to hold up for 5 to 7 years at least, hopefully. And some of ours are looking pretty much the same as they were 2 years ago. Is that maybe because of what we paid for, or do you guys have any kind of thoughts on that one? Because Toland Street would be a big one. Midway Street, I'm not sure if that one even got hit last year.
Midway Street was done.
Yeah, we just drove it.
We just drove.
Okay.
It looks
It
fantastic.
was done.
Yeah, it looks great. So your fiber mat, you're correct. Yeah, it's got fiber strands in it. And what happens, on the back of the box, there's a spray bar that's spraying your emulsion, and then there's a cut bar putting your polyfibers down. And then another one covering it. So it's sandwiching those essentially. And it's a little higher grade than your typical CRS 2P emulsion,
yeah.
chip seal emulsion that you would get. What those fibers are doing, right? And this is probably a very important part in this is they don't stop cracks. They delay and minimize. So it will help them not come up as rapidly. It will help them to disperse once they hit the pavement a little bit, but they can't stop all the cracks. If we knew how to stop all the cracks,
Yeah,
yeah. it's-
the famous saying is death, taxes, and pavement crack. Like those three are gonna happen to all of us.
Gonna come together, yeah.
They're all gonna come, they're all gonna happen. And like fiber mat is meant to minimize and delay.
Mhm.
If you have what in the industry is called slab rocking, where you have some bottom up to the top, you can't stop that. It's the top down from oxidation, wearing, things like that. Obviously, we should probably, like Dominic is your local sales rep,
Yeah.
been in the industry for years. My name's Mike. Started at a lab, been in the industry for like 25 years. I worked for Delaware County Engineers Office, probably designed and managed over $100 million worth of work. Been with Strauser now for like 7 years. I work with Federal Highway Administration, National Center for Pavement Preservation, work in multiple states. But Dominic kind of asked me here to kind of help you guys understand like some of these processes, some of these things, right? I prepared some pamphlets. I am underprepared, evidently. I thought there was only gonna be like 4 or 5 people here. Quite a bit more. Okay, so I'll pass these out to you guys. So I probably have 5 or 6 that I can pass out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I want to keep one for myself so we can kind of walk through it here. And then here's one more for the mayor. This front page is just a page that kind of equates how much, because asphalt is usually talked in tons or cubic yards. Our processes are talked about in square yards. So here's the pricing breakdown in the front. Page 2, I reached out to Madison County Engineers. Page 2 highlighted there in yellow from last year is $88 per ton, I believe, for asphalt. So if we go back to that first page for 1.5 inch mill and fill, they're at $7.09. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. That $7.09 per square yard is Madison County Engineer taking their truck, driving it to the asphalt plant, driving it to the site, and Madison County Engineers putting it down with their own workforces. Okay. So that's no maintenance of traffic. That's no milling. That's no tack. That's no anything at all. It's just hot mix asphalt that they have to go pick up, maintenance on their trucks, labor, all the things. Page 2, I reached out to Delaware County Engineers Office, and this is their township bid. Now, keep in mind in Delaware, they do things a little bit different. So they buy 40 to 50,000 tons of asphalt a year because they combine the county with the township. But I highlighted here in yellow for you guys, this was a township bid from last year. They pay $235 a square yard for their pavement planing, $2.50 a gallon for their tack. $108. So if we go back over here to their front page, $108 is $917 a square yard. Plus maintenance of traffic is $5,500 or $5,400 per mile for a lane closure. So I say all that to say, the next page, there's a website called roadresource.org, and you can type in all kinds of different things. A conventional mill and fill, I said the cost would be about $12 because that's about the national average for a mill and fill. So we're milling an inch and a half, putting an inch and a half back. Those numbers, if you did the actual math, it's going to be a little bit higher than $12. So 1 mile at 20 feet wide is 11,733 square yards. So to pave 1 mile at that average cost is about $140,000 per mile. For a Cape Seal treatment, that's about $850 a square yard. And once again, I don't know what you guys are getting for pricing. I just took kind of the average for the 5 states we work in. What was that?
1008.
1008. Okay.
Is that for the Cape Seal with
That was
the fiber or without?
Last year's 2025.
Yep.
25, so
Yep.
that's with fiber.
And it added, yeah, it added
Yeah.
something.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yep.
So these numbers, like I said, once again, can be a little bit skewed. I didn't dive into your specific area. But generally speaking, 1 mile of Cape Seal is going to be about 99,000. So you can see there's a almost 30% cost savings in doing a Cape Seal versus a mill and fill. So once again, these are not my numbers. These are you can go to this website, you can type these numbers in, and you can do kind of your research on that.
What would your recommendation be though, on the ones that we have got, that, such as toilet?
Yeah.
The amount of
So-
stuff showing, is it worth the extra 50? Because that's what I would think.
Yeah. So there's a rule of thumb. So for every inch of asphalt, it takes 1 year for crack to reappear. And for an inch and a half mill and fill, that is not considered a structural overlay. That's considered maintenance. So if you're just taking an inch and a half off and you're putting an inch and a half back on and your pavement's cracked, and approximately an inch and a half, year and a half, you're going to have cracks come back to your pavement. The difference is microsurfacing is very hard and it's considered a wearing surface, right? Like it's not considered like an asphalt layer. So it's only going down at 3/8 of an inch. So it's very normal for it to crack in 6 months to a year. It's meant to kind of do that. And that's why we do either chip seal, fiber mat, crack seal, something before. We recommend everybody, if they go out and look at a road, take your key out of your ignition and put it down in the pavement. If it goes any more than 3/8 of an inch, yeah, you should probably crack seal it. Otherwise, you're perfectly fine. And one of the big differences is like hot mix asphalt is compacted to around 94%, meaning there's 6 to 8% air voids in the hot mix asphalt. Microsurfacing goes down as a liquid and it comes together as a solid. So there's less than 1% air voids. So the difference is with micro, if you don't crack seal it, you're not going to have an issue. If you don't crack seal hot mix asphalt, within 5 to 7 years, there's a 70% chance of having a pothole because of the air voids and the moisture getting down at the pavement. And that's where your bang for your buck is at. I talked to Bill earlier and he was telling me about how many miles you guys have. And I kind of brought it, the last pages from Violet Township. So we worked this up for them. They had a few new trustees this past year. And I highlighted it here from 2017 to 2020. I had more time to prep for that meeting. They covered approximately 30% of their network for an average cost of $11.60 per square yard. 2021 to 2025, they covered approximately 54% of their network with an average cost of $537 per square yard. So the cost savings is substantial. And I know you guys have about 99, we discussed miles, something like that, pretty close. The old days or the old way of thinking was we have so much money left over from salt, and those are the roads, that's how much we're going to spend on our roads. And that's such kind of the old way of thinking, like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? And it's a hard thing for residents to understand, myself included, but if a road has 5 potholes, next year it's going to have 6, right? Like that sucks to say, but that's the truth. if you go out and you invest in a 2-inch mill and fill, which is considered structural, and you spend $1 million on a section of road, the best thing you can do is take care of that road from day one. So day one, maybe you do a reclamite at $1 a square yard. Year 4 or 5, we're doing a crack seal. Year 9 to 10, we're doing some kind of surface treatment, whether it's a chip, a micro, something like that. Right now in the city of London, you're playing catch up. And that's why you're not seeing the results that you should see. Now there's places like Akron, Canton, and all throughout Ohio that are kind of in the same situation or maybe a little bit worse. And they went from, we're just going to do an 1.5-inch mill and fill everywhere. And within 3 years, James Golden's with payment management group, their results showed after 3 years of spending all that money, they were almost in the same PCI category because an 1.5 inch is not a structural fix. So what we talk about is let's go in and fix the roads that are worth fixing and saving, right? We're kind of almost triaging your road network, right? And governments a lot of times don't understand that you can actually get government funding off of your road network and how good your road network is. I know that's kind of a big number that I threw out here, the cost per square yard, but you're looking at probably $40 to $50 a square yard to actually rebuild a complete road. So $40 a square yard times 11,733, that's a huge number times 99. And that 11,733 is at 20 foot wide. You said your average width is 12 to 15,
Depends. Yeah.
but your average width is 12 to 15. So that number is even higher. So what I'm saying today is let's get caught up. I'm not saying don't pave. I'm not saying don't fix bad roads, but I'm saying you need to allocate some of your money. 20 to 30% is kind of the national average. But if you're in catch-up mode because you haven't spent anything, maybe a little bit more, get caught up and then start fixing your bad roads, because you wouldn't buy a brand new car and not change the oil. And that's exactly what we're talking about here today. Yes, there's a couple reflective cracks that come back through that, but I can take you to roads within 20 minutes of here that have been down 5, 7, 10 years with Union County, with Delaware County, with Dublin, and all kinds of other areas. Hilliard, I mean, Columbus literally has on their website, they don't plan to do hot mix asphalt for 30 years.
I can tell you now, State Route 38 was done last year, or the year before, and that's already got potholes in it. That was a mill and fill by the state of Ohio.
Yep.
You're not looking in front of Wilson's.
I mean, State Route 670 went through east-west through Columbus, 200,000 cars a day. This same process that we're talking to you about, a heavier application, was down for 8 years before they milled and filled it. So when we talk about, you know, are these processes valid? Yes, they crack, the things like this, they will work for you. It's candidate selection is the biggest and most important thing. Once again, right now we're playing catch up because it sounds like maybe the city of London didn't put a lot of money into roads in years past, right? So
when we came in, we were putting,
We said in 17, when I took over street department,
Yeah,
we did 1 year of some paving. Then we did nothing because of COVID and
Yeah.
stuff.
we didn't know what
And
the
we-
funding.
Right. Yep.
So we did the last 2 years.
And I'll tell you, you know, I don't,
Before that, there was very minimal done under the past administration.
so, I hope that answers some of your questions. I'd be happy to answer any questions you do have. I love this stuff. I literally eat, sleep, breathe this stuff every day of my life. So
Would you recommend putting down or kind of making sure that something on our list this year would be crack sealing, the ones that we did last year, maybe for any new cracks that have come up? Is that?
I would say,
would be helpful?
No.
I would say Dominic works for you for free. I would say, hey, Dominic, why don't you go out and drive maybe 5 or 6 of those roads and do a key test for me, and you let me know. Put the onus back on us. Like, we're happy to work for
And
you.
that would be the main good one for also just the crack seal would be the key test then.
The key test, yeah. Because if that
So-
crack is sealed underneath, you
Yeah.
don't have to crack. seal.
Everything underneath should be sealed, whether it's a crack seal or it's your chip seal.
Yep.
Whether it's standard traditional chip seal or your fiber mat, everything underneath that 3/8 of an inch that he's talking about is sealed.
Yep.
So when you see it cracking, that's just a surface crack. Underneath, it's sealed. It's nothing's penetrating that asphalt underneath.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to answer your question, I wouldn't crack seal a micro if I've already done a treatment underneath it.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'd just
You're not
be
seeing that
spending your
thing
money.
going down low
Yeah.
enough. I can
You can't see it, but
And
Yep.
that was my other biggest, kind of concern, but thought on this is like Riley over there. Every 100 feet, 200 feet, you have
It's not every. 20
something
feet.
going underneath
Yeah.
that. It's
Well,
got a
and-
dip in the road.
And I would reach out to your county engineer. A lot of times they have actual reports, like hydrology reports and things like that. And a lot of times what you'll find on older roads is that there's field tiles running underneath there. And it might be every 100 feet, it might be every 25 feet. But wherever those field tile are at, they're only 5 foot, 6 foot deep, and you're gonna see a reflective crack there. And there's literally, without going in, ripping the whole entire road out and fixing the base of that pavement, you're never gonna stop those. Never. Death, taxes, pavement crack.
Which-
Like some of those things you're just not gonna be able to fix.
Those were
Never
all
thought of that.
Yeah.
Built in.
There's a lot of them around here.
Yeah. Oh, there is. And they're everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
some of those things you just can't stop. When I was with Brian, we looked at 42 and because it's a composite pavement, right? It's concrete base, hot mix asphalt on top. And that's ODOT used to love to do that back in the day. But once again, you have 6 to 8% air voids, right? So the salt all works its way down, sitting on that old concrete that has 6 to 8% air voids. And then the salt just eats it away. So every control joint you have every 25, 50 feet is now pushing up and failing, right? So not to say all concrete's bad because new RCC, there's all kinds of different processes and products and chemicals but not to get off the rails on you guys.
It's just mostly, should we look into, hey, how much work a road does need before, determining if we want to do the full seal or something else?
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
what I would tell you is these products that we offer and other companies offer, we're not a sole proprietor by any means. But the products we offer are only as good as what we're putting them on. So if you tell me, hey, I really want to do this because I need a 2 to 5 year to 7 year stopgap solution, we can do that. We don't want to do that because we understand that there's a need for this service and these products, right? So that's where we work with whoever to maybe do some drag patching, some asphalt patching, some minor mill and fill with a skid steer, like 2 inches deep, doing some little patching here or there, filling a pothole maybe to get you caught up. Because once again, I don't want to make any assumptions. I've not worked here. I don't know the history, but it sounds like we're in catch up mode and we can help you do that.
Yeah, so it's the selection process will be based off some loosely off of the PCI ratings that you've got in the past and just boots on the ground. Once the candidates are selected, then usually we'll meet out in the field and we'll kind of look at the roads and say, okay, this little area here, let's get a patch on this, let's fix this before we come out or this or that. So there's a little bit of a back and forth. Hey, these are the roads we're looking at. Let's look at them. This is what needs fixed, that type of thing prior to us coming out. And then we do the
They go out and do a patching.
Mhm. Yep.
Cold mix, whatever.
That was another one of last year. We didn't actually hit any of the failed roads. And so it was kind of are they too bad to, get to that point
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
just maybe got looked
And,
over?
and that's part of the thing, like we were talking about, right? So failed roads are failed. So if you want us to go hit them, I can go hit them, but it's only gonna last you a year or two.
Yeah.
The value is taking care of the things that are already in good shape. Like your engine's blown in your car, you wouldn't go change the oil and expect it to run, right? So failed roads are bad. We understand that. And as city, you guys need to do something, whether it's on your website or whatever, to help your public understand that. Like hiring PMG is a really great first step because you can publicize that data and talk to anybody that comes to you with that. But the fact of the matter, throwing minimal $10, $12 a square yard at a failed road is only going to waste money and hurt your taxpayer dollars. You really need to take care of your good roads first. And then once your good roads are caught up and taken care of, then you go and spend that $20, $30 a square yard to fix your bad roads. Because if you fix your bad roads first, you're going to fix 1, 2, 3 years a road, 3 years in a row. at the same time, you got 96% of your roads are failing more and more and more because every year your roads are aging.
If you have a failed road, what's the worst that can happen? It's already, right? But if you have a good road, you can go two directions. You can make it better or you can fail it, right? So at least you have options. So let's put money into the fair road and make it good as opposed to a failed road that's already failed.
Yep.
That'll be probably
Now,
30% more.
and those ones should be a little cheaper, like a good road compared to a fair road. If you're going through and doing one.
It will depend on the cracking. It'll depend on the road condition.
Yep.
If you've got a fairly decent road, 10 years old, mild cracking, yeah, you can do some crack seal and a micro. That's it, right?
Yep.
Now, in that case, that's going to be a little less expensive than your Cape seal, which is the chip seal with the micro on top. So it depends on when you catch them.
And
Unfortunately, here there's not a ton of like good roads, right? They're fair roads usually are the ones that we're trying to hit so that we can get them back up to good.
And once again, hiring PMG is a great first step because they can qualify your treatments for you and tell you exactly where you're at. We deal with so many agencies that it's like a shotgun blast, right? Like, oh crap, we have a problem,
Mhm.
right? So that will help you narrow down your candidate selection and where you can go. So generally speaking, we're looking at probably a 60 and above. For the record, he used to work for PMG. And the only thing he knows is road ratings like the back of his hand. That's his whole life has been that.
So PMG is something that Bill got, about 3 years ago, started that. They come out and they do a full assessment on your roadway. And what they do is they give you a condition rating. It's called PCI, Pavement Condition Index. And that's your rating, just like a school, 0 to 100, right? And then you can kind of A, B, C, D,
They're in sorted
whatever.
out every single street.
Yeah. So you can look at that about every 3 years. I think Bill and I talked about this. About every 3 years, it's good to re-up it. So I think you're looking at maybe doing that at the end of this cycle here. But what it does is it gives you a condition, and then that condition will tell you where that maintenance action is. So this 62 falls under a Cape seal. This 78 falls under a micro, and it tells you these things. Now it's not the end all be all, right? You still got to go look at the roads to verify that maybe that 68 could be a micro because it's just got a couple areas in it that are really messed up, but the rest of it's really good. You still got to go out there, boots on the ground, and identify, but having that data in your
It's a great
hands,
place to qualify.
the initial qualification it's amazing.
And I would highly recommend, once again, roadresource.org. You can literally click on pictures and say, my road looks like this, and it'll tell you different candidates. It'll tell you contractors that do the work. It'll tell you what you should look for and what you shouldn't look for. It will tell you all the different things. It's third party. We don't own it. It has nothing to do with us. The other big one would be City of Westerville. They have a great website on their page that talks about all these different treatments to kind of notify their residents, right? So they tell their residents, hey, this is what a micro is, and this is why we're doing it. This is what a crack seal is, and this is why we're doing it. This is why your bad road isn't getting touched because we have to invest in X, Y, and Z. So City of Westerville does a great job at that. Roadresource.org does a great job at treatment qualifications, maintenance, and then when it's time to kind of pull the plug and replace your roof, they have options for that as well. So those are both really good websites if you want to do independent research. Once again, Dominic works for you guys though.
Well, hopefully get your number by the year.
Yeah.
If you have some more questions.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
Do you have any questions about the company itself? I know that you had some concerns about.
I'm happy they came in and talked.
Well, I understand that, but I think
Hey,
you had
he's
some.
lined up with Barrett Industries. I'm sorry, I saw the liabilities they were going through with other things and it brought up.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk about it, to be honest with you. Just so everybody's aware, Strasser Construction is actually owned by Barrett Industries, which has 13 subsidiary companies underneath of it. We reach from here to upstate New York. Barrett Industries is owned by Colas USA. And we stretch from everywhere from Alaska all the way down to Georgia. So we're not a small mom and pop operation, we're a big company. That being said, there has been several companies within the state of Ohio in the past year to 2 years that have issues with hot mix paving. Not with pavement preservation, but with hot mix paving. Ourselves, as in Barrett Paving, which isn't Barrett Industries, it's Barrett Paving, one of the subsidiaries under Barrett Industries, had an issue. They've settled that. It's all over. You can research it. Kokosing. I think everybody in Ohio knows Kokosing. They had the same exact thing. There's about 5 other companies that haven't hit the web yet because they're choosing, and instead of settling, they're going through litigation. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware, like, I appreciate you doing your due diligence, but it's not a specific us problem. It's throughout the whole entire state, and it's a very broad, big kind
And
of.
that's where that was one I didn't bring up at council or anything.
It's not a straws or material.
It was
Yeah,
It's not for the materials we're doing.
Oh, that's kind of close to us, because yeah, you guys are.
I can
Big.
understand that, but, you know, all we can speak about is what Strasser has done for the city of London, what these guys have done for
Yep.
the city of London. And, you know,
Tim Hamlin was on council for quite a few years.
and I'll defer to Bill on this, but in my eyes, it's always been great work. They've been great to work with. It's a great partnership we have with them. They help us stretch our dollar. They help us maintain and take care of things we need to take care of. So I appreciate them for that.
And I'll just be upfront with you. So we're vertically integrated. We own Terry Asphalt Materials that's based out of Cincinnati. We manufacture all of our liquid from there through an ASTM certified lab. That lab is ODOT pre-qualified and NDOT in Indianapolis pre-qualified, KYTC pre-qualified. So all of our material goes through stringent testing randomly throughout the year to make sure all of our materials that we're getting from there are pre-qualified. All of our ag sources are also, I think they're TE24 or something like that. There's a Fed number that they have to be pre-qualified for as well. So the things we're giving to you are not just fly by night. It's not something we just came up with. They're all certified. We all follow a specification, I guess.
It's all very state bid.
Yeah.
I mean, overall though, I'd say that kind of what I've gotten from this is that instead of us just saying, hey, $500,000 into seal coating.
Yep.
How about we look into 300,000 for possibly getting some of our failed roads done correctly or redone?
I think they
up to the
do
point,
that.
And then 200. Well, I was thinking our seal coating is what we're putting on that good and fair.
Yeah.
ones just to kind of maintain them.
Yeah.
You know, our failed ones, we aren't really wanting to touch right now because that is gonna be.
The
right back.
the past
You
was
gotta get caught
always,
up first. Yeah.
And so if we kind of changed our budgeting on pages 500,000 a year, you know, kind of looked into, yeah.
If you change that from 500 to 300, you're just pushing out longer those repairs and getting up there.
That's correct.
We have more than 500,000, we believe, in
Right.
repairs. Still to be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Like what I heard was we need to get those fixed. The quicker we get them up to date, then we start going back to the failed routes.
correct,
That's
Not
That's
hold it.
correct.
If you hold here, 6 potholes become 7.
correct. Yeah. And
You know, if you want to give us $1 million, we'll take it, but I'm assuming that.
Yeah, that's the best way, right? But it's not realistic.
And
More money.
what I would highly recommend, what I recommend to everybody I talk to is get a set budget. So much in the past, it was, we have this money left over. We had to buy a new fire truck. We had to build a new building. We had to hire a new employee. The most valuable asset that any government agency has, and I don't care where they're at in this whole entire world, is their road network. The cost is astronomical to repair it. And just like a roof, one day the rain's going to get in and you're going to have to start from the ground up. And you're talking $30 to $50 a square yard. So you best start maintaining what you got.
So you guys will say that you feel that we're doing the right process by doing it the way that we've been doing it.
Because if we do, you know, say, okay, we're going to spend it to fix a road, then all of a sudden in 2 years, the road we're going to fix this year will now fail, and now we got to spend more money to fix that.
That would cost you more.
Right. Yeah.
The longer you wait, the more it costs.
Yeah.
So all the ones that we did that were failed with the seal coating in 2024, That's where I'm kind of thinking, hey, that's where we might have missed a couple, because
I don't understand,
2024.
because you keep going back and forth. You want us to fix fail roads.
Well, no,
but
I'm
you
saying
don't
that
want us
now
to
that
fix
we've
fail
learned
roads.
kind of the proper reason for it.
I mean, I have to look at your
You're
failed
good,
roads.
you're good. I've gone over it too much.
No, you're good. No, so what I always equate roads to are like, if you go to the doctor, right? Just because you got a runny nose or a cough doesn't mean you have COVID, doesn't mean you're on your deathbed, but maybe you do. But until you identify each individual road, drainage, the CBR, which is like the bearing of the soil, does it have trees, does it have drainage, does it have how many traffic counts? Was it designed for 12-foot wide? Now it's 20-foot wide. There's so many different variables in each individual road that it's hard to say here and generalize everything. What I would tell you is any road that you guys spend a substantial amount of money on paving, let's say you set aside 300 grand and you pave a really bad road every single year. First, between year 0, which is brand new, and year 2, you should spray it with a Reclamite or some kind of rejuvenation treatment that'll gain you 4 to 5 years of life. At year 4 to 5, I would be looking at a crack seal, which is generally speaking anywhere from 50 cents to $1 a square yard, depending on your quantity, right? At year 8 to 10, I'm looking at some kind of surface treatment, whether it's a micro, whether it's a chip seal, something to that effect. So that's 8 to 10. That treatment should last you 8 to 10 years because you're putting it on a good candidate. I've seen roads up to 12 to 14 years old with that same treatment. So then that gets us into 18 years old before we're doing any hot mix. The great news is if that road's still a good candidate, we can micro it again. And now we're at year 28 before we're doing a hot mix asphalt. But if you're just using your leftover money, which is 100 grand or no money or 500 grand, you're going to be like a dog chasing its tail. You'll never, ever, ever catch up.
So we did 2 road complete pavement, mill and fill, under Dominic. We did that, but we didn't pay for it, neither one of us, because there was a signed contract on it. Those 2 roads would have cost us 80 grand. That was Merrimont and Graceland, and that was back in 24. But there was never a signed contract on anything, so nobody.
That's a good gig for you guys.
Yeah.
Yep, and so, yeah, I like it.
Kind of ones you want.
Good things to look at.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah, we're happy to talk. Like, once again, I love this, so I'm happy to talk to you about it. It's my passion for real. But I have one more packet that I can hand out to whoever, if anybody needs one. Once again, I didn't bring a bunch, so.
Thank you for the time putting that
Yeah,
together.
Absolutely. And once again,
Appreciate you
if you
guys
guys want to
coming
share
out.
some numbers, I can make like, well, why is it for you guys? But it's completely up to you. We work for you guys. We don't want to be a used car salesman and come in here and sell you one used car. I want to earn your business because I believe it's what we do
The
here.
numbers seem fair and everything you explained, yeah, exactly why, hey, we should be hitting it going from here.
Tommy, I did not see the complaining that, I think you saw some on Facebook where people were concerned about the roads or the surface or the crack or their chipping and resealing that we did. I think it's important that people know when council allocates or approves $500,000 for roads, nobody's standing out there throwing darts, figuring out where to put them. We have experts here, Dominic and Bill and the people here in town who keep track of the roads and the P&G. It's a very good plan done by the experts who know what they're doing, not me,
Oh, yeah.
not council. So I think it's important that people know this isn't just random hither tither.
That final report from James at
Yeah.
PMG towards the end. just-
Yes.
I'll just say,
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, you know, last time though, none of this was explained when it was brought up and we voted. So that was kind of the biggest concern or question of mine was, you know, I wish this would have been explained a little bit more. $500,000.
So when I brought that 500,000 to you, I just put it in my report and asked what council wanted to do. You brought up the 500,000. I told you at that point in time, it's always been a Band-Aid. I've stated that from the get-go.
And you
So we're
sponsored
going ahead
it,
and
so-
go on to the next one of, did the emergency notice that got put on it, why wasn't that brought up at this committee also?
It was.
There was no emergency on it from us.
Yes, it was.
That's like this little black
That's
box.
because we told you it had to get to them so they could get going on it.
I'll go on ahead and double check that one for you, but from what I've seen is I didn't see any conversation about that. And so that was kind of a catch-off
No,
guard.
because you asked if the dump truck needed an emergency and I said no, but the roads did.
So before you keep going,
You're good.
these guys are probably done, I guess. You don't have to stay here and,
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
All right, no other questions?
no, thank you. It's very
Okay.
informative.
Thank you guys, yep, we really do appreciate the
Guys, have a
time.
great rest of your night.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry for crashing your party.
Possible to just maybe send an email out to the council meeting
Yeah.
with your contacts and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
you'll send it to Bill?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
and we'll copy the
Explain all that now.
Westerville.
What now?
I know that.
Thank
Did
you.
you have
We
other
wanna
questions for
I
the
learned to be
street
outside.
department or?
Well, thank you. I like
Well,
this.
we're pretty much way past. So do you care if I just kind of go down stuff? I'll leave my sidewalk stuff on till the next time.
Yeah,
For the agenda.
that's regarding the streets.
For which part? Like I said, a couple real quick.
Well, I
ones.
mean, since we're running out of time, I don't know if you want to save
I don't have anything
something
else
for
the
next time
streets.
or, okay.
I think Bill answered almost. Also the other part about it going out for bid, that was my other confusion that both of you had
It's
said
on-
that it would go out for bid, but
It's on state bid. It does not have.
so
to
it's
go out
a
to bid.
state bid, but that's what I was saying was I had asked and both of you said, yeah, it goes out for bid, more bang for our buck. It goes out.
State bid.
And once
State
again, those
bid
words,
means It does not have to be bid.
I get you. Is that the bid that is going out right now with Madison County for their resources and everything? Or is that contract and bid already out there to kind of know what price we're getting? Not sure. All right.
We're
It's
not
a-
doing anything with Madison County.
So it's all through state then? It is.
It's-
Okay.
We piggyback off. the state
Then
ones.
if it is a state
Piggyback off the
contract, piggyback off the state. So is that how we
So
can?
If you're in the state of Ohio and you put a bid out of $1 a mile,
Yes.
the city of London can hop on that for $1 a mile.
Do
But-
those ones have to have the handicap ramps fixed also, or no, because it's just kind of a general overlay that we're doing on these again?
We're just doing a general overlay.
And that's one at least that also I'd like to kind of look into in the past is, hey, if we are putting 500,000 in, maybe we could start fixing the ones that need handicap ramps and just kind of picking those off as we do those different types of roads.
That involves the sidewalks, right? It's not the street money. It's a separate.
So
We're not doing
they're
it.
not doing that. That
They're
has to
fixing
be
the roads.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if we're fixing the roads, putting that money into it, is it possible for us to look into having that job done along with us? Because I know there's a couple that there were neighborhoods that I saw had sidewalks that we had just redone the jobs in 2025.
I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can still
Didn't
give
have
money to
ramps.
do sidewalks too. Yes. Is that your question? Can
Sure.
city council give money to fix sidewalk ramps?
I was just saying it'd be
Yes.
something for us to look into, yeah, as we continue on this. All right, so yeah, that's all I had for Bill. Thank you very much.
Pat,
So
you-
you sent an email and it was forwarded to me asking some questions about LABC. So LABC is responsible for the tiles in LABC. They rent that land off the city of London.
I was seeing if you had a diagram, anything to show what's in there. If there's
Yeah, because
anything.
they're the ones that
No.
put it in and stuff. That's up to
Sounds
them to
good.
maintain.
Sounds good. That answers that question. But yeah.
Is
Oh, I
that the
had-
gravel picture with the tiling that you're talking about?
No, that issue was something I had just asked about because I was out helping LABC, checking out some drainage issues they're
Okay.
having. But,
Talk to Josh Peters. I think he was.
He was on the board. when it was-
Yes.
They put the
You know,
last one
anything?
in.
okay, sounds good. He'd be a good one to chat with. Only other thing,
Also, your lease, they do not lease the property across the street. They
Yep.
just lease the property that LABC is on.
and yeah, are you able to send me that one then? If you do have it, or just kind of lease, I heard that one's getting
The
renewed
auditor's
this year.
office will be sending it to you.
Yeah, but it says that they're leasing. the
It's just
city-
checking
the
it
City of London parcel that is known as Burr Wheeler Park.
Sounds good. And so, yeah, it's
And
just
then-
kind of looking into little stuff.
Painted trash can lids. Yes, we did paint some paint.
Yep.
Trash can lids. Because I was not aware that we were out of lids. Some people need trash cans. So we didn't bill them. We painted them red. So we're
Okay.
also back up a little further. Street department has been going and working at the sanitation department since the Eads administration. That's when this first started. So I understand that because it was called the street department and then under the administration, it becomes street maintenance department. So we started maintaining all buildings and everything else.
Okay. Okay. On to the next part of the trash can thing was, are we out of trash cans though for new houses that are being
We're not
developed?
out of trash cans, we're out of lids. So when you purchase those cans, you can purchase them as a complete unit or you can piece them. Your past person chose to piece them. So if you don't order the same amount of each, then
Do we need to just buy
so
more
you
lids to
you just
fit the
order them
amount?
all as a complete unit, so you don't have to worry about that.
Are we selling used trash cans?
I was not, but evidently your past superintendent was, and some of his
Why are you
employees.
telling me my past superintendent? You guys are the ones sitting over there. I wasn't even part of this
I wasn't
thing.
the superintendent.
Les was, you're right. And
And I had never heard that we were selling used trash cans.
I just heard this one the other night. Somebody said.
So I don't even know how they would get them because they are purchased by the homeowner and they stay there. Like
They're
when I
supposed to
moved,
stay.
it stayed at my house. I went to the rental, we moved, they kept them. We got new ones when we went to jail.
So this
This
stuff
wasn't-
that Bill Long doing, no, Bill Long has not picked up any used
Did
trash
bring you into
cans,
bills, specifically,
Kevin is a
nor has
disgruntled
Bill Long
employee.
sold any trash cans.
But mostly it's still the fact
An ex.
to have enough
disgruntled
stuff ready
employee.
for new houses. Cause I mean,
So here's
That's
the issue.
what
As
it
part of
was.
that, we are looking at as part of the new bid is do we buy them, which are $10,000, correct? $10,000 minimum order and then, or do, if we see if we can push it where then they'll just be buying direct from there. So we're looking at those numbers, which is exactly why he's doing the repair or the temporary thing. So although some people want to point out, oh, it's terrible, this and that, he knows it's falsehoods. He knows he's doing nothing but being,
guys need to stop reading.
just, yeah. So, but the issue is what really is going on is being more proactive to make sure we can continue until
Yeah.
then. So, we have a time period, we have to look, how long are we gonna have to make
You
that
said
last, or are we
July,
gonna have to
so
buy? Well, then that's a
possibly
maybe,
July.
yep,
And so, yeah, we're kind of getting close to the edge now.
yeah. So
Oh, no.
spend 10,000 of our money or,
We got
Well, wait,
trash cans for these new
and it
ones.
may have to happen, but, it was just,
And they'd be okay to use the city's trash cans with the next ones.
that's going in the bid, that's a requirement.
Okay, fine. So yeah, so if we had
So-
extra ones anyway, that we kind of,
But then we're giving them to them, so.
yeah. Well.
So the issue is if the way it's bid right now or the way it's in the bid, they'll continue to use those trash
Yeah.
cans until they're gone. Now, I'm not saying that won't change. We're still in the flux of what we're doing, but,
I'd probably
but
say 10,000 is just safe. Go ahead then and make sure we're safe and staff.
All right, well, let's try to, Pat, did you have anything real quick?
Just the comp plan.
Bring it to council.
Okay, you'd said something about it needs to go to planning first.
It's going to planning Thursday and it'll come out of planning on Thursday.
Okay, so we could vote on it tonight to bring us to the next, which
So,
would be
yeah,
the
so you
following
guys would
Thursday.
Say, hey, okay, bring it to council. It's not that, it has to pass that day or whatever. It looks like somebody's got a lot of Post-it notes.
Oh, there's
so-
a couple.
So it's just to get the sponsor to take it to council and then you guys can do with it what you want.
They're not all bad. Let's do a good bet.
So I mean, is it better to wait till, goes planning committee first or,
Let's just get it to council.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, let's just
Planning
get it to
committee.
council. It'll come out of planning. It'll come out of planning Thursday.
and we'll still have
And
3
then-
sessions to discuss it if we want to,
Yeah, you-
at council
you can
to,
do what you
Will we
want
be
with
able to
it.
make any adjustments while it's going through council without having to make motions for amendments? Such as one of the big items is the 6-story complexes coming across from Walmart there. Our ordinances specifically say nothing higher than 2 stories tall. Yet this has a master document that says we will now allow a 6-story tall apartment building on the side of Lafayette going out of town.
What page is that on?
Oh, that's what I was trying to find, which in my little notes, because it's one of the only ones here. But I was ready to sit and go through every piece of it with you. Let me find you if you want. Otherwise, we'll come back and I can show you later, but if you would like to.
Tell me if you want, you could email me your concerns out of it. and say,
Well, that's
Paige,
one of my biggest concerns. If you want me to keep looking for that, I'll come back to it to find specifically. But I know
mean,
that
it looks like you have them tabbed.
it's one of the corners.
It looks like you have them tabbed.
These are larger ones that, yes, go for the housing issues is pink. Blue is city
Well, I'm
items
not
that
worried
we
about
can
what,
do.
what color's what.
Orange are issues.
but you're-
Yellow is parts.
Sounds like he's
It's
willing
not-
to have you email and
Email me your
Oh, yeah.
concerns. And say, Paige,
But will
set-
we be able to change that if it's at council?
I believe so. That's a law director question, but I believe so that you
I'm
guys
not
will be
going
able.
off the belief, so, unfortunately. I would like a solid answer on that. Is just kind of where my vote's gonna be. I'll just give you that forward
Okay.
now.
well,
Well, she's not here, so we can't get that immediately, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
I'm
she,
not gonna get,
she could get an answer.
my understanding is that you guys can amend the comp plan.
yeah, we've got 3 readings to go through it and amend what we want to amend, and I wouldn't think there'd be any issue with that, but I mean, I suppose Raquel could answer that better than he was. So I'll make a motion to take it to council.
Make sure you can get that, looking at just example photos that OHM put in of what other places have done. Because
No.
I'm searching through the comp plan and the only 6-story apartment thing I can find is just an example photo of what they said. This is what's going in these kind of developments. Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Mhm.
Who wants to be the sponsor on this?
I can sponsor it.
And then please,
So unfortunately, yeah, we kind of just got rushed through it tonight. It's not, oh, page 88. Check that one.
88?
Yeah, there we go. The one that says.
Steve, did you have anything?
Height minimum 2 stories, max 6 stories. Limited 70 to 100% of the site.
You can email.
I mean, if you want to stick around tonight, me and you can sit here after finance and go through it if you want.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got something?
tomorrow I have to take day off anyway. for
Hang on.
doctor.
Oh, you do? Well, you just want to email me your
And
concerns
just as
then?
there might, Jenny came in, through the whole meeting, she came to talk about the service.
Okay, well, I'll get there. Steve, go ahead.
So, update on the sanitation bid. So we are still working on a draft. There's some of the legal language we're looking at with EO and some of that kind of language. But something come up today. So we're trying to work out when. So you had said something about July 1st. That was our target date. We want to put it out for bid. So let's say we put it out for bid May 1st. It's got to be advertised 2 weeks in a row. Local papers on the Sunday. Originally, we wanted to look at 4 weeks of it out there before they require a bid back, but that's going to create some problems. So I've got to talk to our consultants. There's by labor contract, there's 60-day notification of employees. The way this is currently set, we also have the city council action to allow the safety service director to accept bids. And that's before I can do a bid award. So I can't really give a 60-day notification to an employee before I have a bid awarded, because I don't know who it's going to go or when. So again, it's a general discussion. I've talked to the law director about it earlier today. So when it originally came, it did not come to advertise to allow the safety service director to advertise and accept bids like most of the time it does. And so my conversation is just that we're going to have to look harder at it. I will approach the law director again. I really think that's something that has to be decided ahead of time. Otherwise, we may be looking at September, October. If we go 3 readings and 30 days afterwards, I can't notify them until it's approved. I can't notify them in 60 days.
So you need legislation to accept the bid in order to expedite the process.
Yeah. And like I said, I think when I was talking earlier, if council wants to hold a special meeting, report to a committee about what they are, that's, I'm not complaining about that, but this adds considerable time. I can't even go to part of my process, the time we have to notify our employees until it passes. Until I'm allowed to accept the bids.
So we've already voted to bid. We just needed to say to accept.
That's correct.
So we were talking about that when it was going through, didn't we?
But I can't
Well-
set final dates until we know. So I talked to her today, so we'll probably the next meeting we would expect to bring that
So I'll make a motion to bring to council to accept the bid for sanitation. That the safety service. I need a second. You second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I went with the other one.
You,
I said aye.
okay. So all agree? Need a sponsor.
I mean,
You want-
because pretty much you're good. I'll let you finish up first.
Is there a sponsor?
Sponsor it.
Okay.
Now, does that have the bid price in hand then to go with it or just to accept it when it does come?
So yeah, the way it should happen, I will put it out to bid. Let's, the hope is it's multiple vendors.
Yeah.
They come back, we review it to the best bid.
Yeah.
We look at those prices and see that they all meet the bid requirements. They all meet the requirements. We look at what the best provider is.
That's why I didn't argue this. I figured it was, hey, just for us to accept bids. Not we had one specific.
We do not, like, I mean, it's not even what's
So, yeah.
advertising yet.
We haven't put it out
Yeah.
yet.
So does it need to have an emergency clause on it?
Depends when you pass it.
Yeah, I mean, if you pass it now, then
30 days.
On when we did pass it.
yeah, it probably depends on the three. So if you go 3 readings, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, it's probably, I mean, it could do the 3 readings, but it would, the 30-day wait afterwards would be a problem.
Needs an emergency clause.
Yes.
That would be helpful. Okay.
Well, hey, you
Uh,
mind if I have last questions then or anything else?
well, she's been waiting a while. I wanted to let her go ahead if you want to.
Can I make one other quick comment on my?
Oh, yeah.
So the ODOT, all those documents been turned in. That is the 4th Street project. Everything's there. We're scheduled next week to start our scoping on that. And I believe, because I told you guys the other day, I'm wrong. Is that a 29 project? Not 28? Yeah. okay.
29.
Alright.
Also programs for the. Speaking of curb ramps.
Did we figure out how many?
No, you need curb ramps to be done in the paving project. And it had actually been stated that we would do this, so we need additional money to do curb ramps.
Yep. How much?
For the ODOT project.
Got 120 for 220,000. What's the deal this time?
About 100,000 in curb ramps.
How
For
many?
Lafayette Street and Center
Center.
Street. Center Street would be from Madison Road out to Midway. Lafayette Street would be from about Cheney and Thomas out to Eagle Kimball.
Did you get a number then on how many ramps that is actually?
I got it at the shop. I walked it and counted them, but I don't remember. Because,
Over 100? Under 100?
no, because we do not touch the ones at the driveways. Those are not the city's responsibility.
Oh, the inlets? Yeah, that's something I don't, thank you.
The only thing that we touch is cross streets. Everything else belongs to the property owner.
Yeah, that's the only one I haven't dug into at all. But, yes, if we have about 60 of them that you need for this, that should be about 110. If it's below that, but either way, I'd be all in for making a motion for 120,000 about
So the ones that ODOT,
650.
ODOT's estimate came in at 160. And that was on Lafayette and Center, and I had a contractor come in and look at doing it because it has to actually be done by May. Or April.
Have we reached out to Baldwin and Sons possibly?
No, too big project for them. This would be done by Fillmore Construction.
Is that just because of the state project job? They choose pretty much who it is that doesn't?
It actually has to be done or the paving project can't
Yeah,
take
it has to be
place.
done before that time.
I'm just saying.
So time wise, Baldwin's just can't get it done that quick.
You're saying 160,000 is what?
That's what ODOT estimated, but we got it for under 100. We break it up to 2 projects.
Is that the amount you're looking at then?
That'd be 100 now and 60,000 later then?
No.
Just 100 for the whole thing and you'd be able to do them all.
Yeah, from
Both parts.
For Lafayette and
You say West Center was from,
Center Streets, from Madison, from the,
the
Pretty
Midway?
much the area with
the west. West to, yeah, west to the west. From to Midway Street.
I'll make a motion to take to council $100,000 for RAM upgrades on the project for 42.
that'd be appropriated from general fund, correct? You want to sponsor it?
Yeah.
All right, you're made a motion, I'll second. All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
I would ask, I think it's emergency clause, correct, because of timing? Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Because
Yeah,
yeah, the
we
May,
have
April, we
basically,
had.
Our window's tight.
Good dad.
You said you're gonna sponsor?
In emergency.
Did you have anything else?
No.
Nope,
That job, did you say 2028 is when it will be done, Lafayette?
Fourth Street. That's the
Oh, okay.
ODOT fourth underneath.
Okay.
That's
Lafayette goes
complete.
in this year.
This,
It
yeah.
sells March 26th of
That's
this
where I
year.
was like, wait, did I? But cool.
Fourth
Yeah.
Street,
Oh,
Fourth Street sells January 6th of 29.
I only had one other thing that I was just really hoping to bring up. Landon, I know last year we had
I was gonna
talked.
let-
Oh,
Or go
come
ahead.
on, yes. Nope, go
Go-
first.
Go ahead and
Dang it.
bring
I'm
up what
trying
you wanted to
get
bring
rid
up.
of safety.
Sorry. My name is Jenny Davis. I have facilitated a task force for our unhoused in London and Madison County since October. And through this, and several of you have joined in our task force, and that is greatly appreciated. Recently, Eve and I have actually gone to a virtual meeting through Cohio, which is the coalition on homelessness and housing in Ohio. And we are looking right now specifically at a warming center housed in one of 3 churches. We are sort of narrowing back. They're looking at their insurance, talking with their board of trustees. So we're down to 3 churches and we're looking at funding. And so through the Cohio, the coalition, they had shared that we really need to work with our city council and our local government. And so here I am trying to work with you, trying to figure out what our next steps are. And they mentioned that the CDBG, the block grant, could be a source of funding. I don't know much about this and I am learning, but I am sort of asking you, what direction could you point me in? Who could I speak with? I want you to know this is something that there are a large amount of people in the city that are passionate about this. It sort of follows along with affordable housing. And what about those people that can't be housed? We can't turn a blind eye. Volunteer at the Help House, and we get 1 to 3 individuals to families a week coming in, and we're supporting them as best we can. But now the Help House is closed as of after Saturday's service, and we're not quite sure whether it's going to be a month and a half or longer until they're back open. And so things like this really work on my heart. I reach out to a lot of the churches, but I think churches are struggling as well. I think you all might know that. So I will be quiet, and whatever you have to offer me as next steps, thoughts, I appreciate.
So the CDBG, what were you wanting
Well, that
that
was
money for?
Provide
To-
funding for
to
running programs.
support the warming center.
Well, I understand that, but I don't know how.
I'm looking right now, it talks about
Yeah.
rehabilitation.
I think it's probably what she's asking also is how could it be utilized? Because we
everywhere that we go for this training talks about that specific.
So
thing of
CBG can only be used in certain sections of this town.
Mhm. Okay.
And which is, Center Street is basically the dividing line. Half of Center Street,
This changed this year, changes.
oh, did it change?
It changed this year, but
It was that meeting, right?
there's only a certain amount of money, so I don't, so when you said that, I was trying to figure out if you were trying to get, like, I don't know what those people are using CDBG money, I guess.
Well, I guess, I don't know what we can use it for. So,
What funds would you need, I guess?
so I think of inspection funds, I think of, money to keep it going as far as maybe support for some of the buildings that, need to add more money to their insurance.
So to explain CDBG, it's a grant, right? So you have to write the grant for what you want, right? So we did CDBG money for
Lines, sewer lines.
water lines, sewer lines on the south end of town, right? So we got bids, we said, okay, this is the money we need, this is what's gonna be done. You know, and they're pretty stringent, like they won't, like a lot of people try to get roads fixed, they won't give you the money to fix roads. So that's,
And then you have to have, so the way it's always worked since I did it, you have to have a certain percentage of money either to match whatever they're giving, or you've had to have did that amount of work. Because like normally when the cities did it, we went in and did infrastructure work ourselves. And that counted towards our percentage of whatever that was needed at that point.
so I get, we can keep having these discussions, but I think you say you keep hearing that people are using CDBG money. I guess ask them, what are you using?
We keep asking everybody
And nobody can-
directly, in every training that we're going to and every group that we meet with, it is a very direct, how are you funded? And nobody has ever provided a
Cause
direct
they don't want to tell you
answer.
their answers. They don't want their money taken.
So what if there was a six sufficiency apartments? Would CDBG money, could they be used to pay the rent for it?
Not that I'm aware
Not,
of.
yeah.
Purchase?
No.
Are you guys still working on your
contact with
nonprofit?
The guy that I deal with and see if he can help
Status?
answer any questions.
Yeah, that's almost be.
Yeah, I don't-
One's government.
I've never heard of
I'll look
CDBG
that
money
up.
being used for like people's rent and stuff. It's more for like projects, parks, water lines, sewer lines. Like that's what I've always seen. Maybe there's a different division or something. I mean, I can link you up with somebody from CDBG and you could talk to them and see if that money's being used, but I guess,
If it was purchased as a community property for the purpose of becoming a shelter.
but that's the thing. So, okay, so say you wanted to build, we're gonna build a shelter. And we want X amount of dollars from CDBG to purchase the land. Well, they're not gonna purchase the land if you don't have the funding available to build the building and you know, this also goes with like One Ohio money, right? Like, you know, and different state money. A lot of times they don't like using it because they're like, okay, how are you gonna fund the people that work there? How are you gonna fund your insurance year in and year out, right? So a lot of these grants and stuff, they don't wanna give you money if you don't have something set up in place that says this can go for 30 years, right? They don't want to purchase a piece of land and then all of a sudden nothing get built, or it gets built and it's closed down in a year because nobody can afford the insurance or things of that nature. So, yeah,
Maybe a quick one, I was kind of hoping we could just discuss real quick would be if it's just for the warming centers, you said 12 days or something, maybe last year you guys actually had to open them. What's the possibility of the little
We've already
kitchen
been
room?
over this discussion.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's been a very long discussion. It all comes down to zoning.
So I was about to say, you can lock that
When you
door.
bring people into any place, you have to keep men and women separate. You have to have insurance. You have to have, when people are sleeping, there's things like water suppression and things like that, and dividers and keeping kids away from this and then, I mean, there's a lot to it. It's not just, opening the doors and saying, come in and we'll pull some cots out for you. If something was to happen, something bad was to happen, it would be real bad news liability wise for the city.
And that's why we've gone the church route. So I appreciate your time. Whitaker Wright is the person that I heard was supposed to be.
So Whitaker's transitioning out and somebody's coming in. Whitaker's retiring. So, I mean, I could give you contacts. That's fine. Just email me. I'll shoot you over, and then you can at least ask them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I can't really.
It's hard. It's
Figure out
ongoing discussion for months. Well, I mean, years really, but the task force has been meeting regularly for months and months now, and it's hard.
If she found a cost of the permits required or kind of what it would cost them, is that something we could look into being able to help fund? Or whatever zoning permits?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily the permit, it's the cost to meet the permit.
Yeah, I
So
don't
what
think
do they
the
have to
permit
do?
is the
The
big
permit's
dollar
not-
thing that they're talking
Cost of
about.
the inspection.
It's the inspection.
Well, what,
'Cause we
if
now
you
been
find a
told
facility, that church that meets the
every
requirement,
facility that
that
we
may be a
think
very minimal fee.
would support
It's,
warming
if there
filter,
have to be
building
adjustments
and
to the
zoning wants
building,
go inspect.
they have to make
Fire
changes
has
to
inspect, and then
construction and put
for
sprinkler
every
systems in,
possible
that's
space,
where
just to
that kind
find
of
out if
stuff
it's
is.
gonna not work.
And it really just depends on the inspection, like on the location, I'm sorry, the location.
And on that, I do have these I wanted to give out with it as well. From the London Area Support Network is the London Meal Network. So there's these free food resource flyers in London. If you have anywhere to put these, please feel free. People to pass them out to, please feel free. Just wanting to make sure nobody's going hungry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Doable.
More, or do you want more?
How many do you need?
I don't have a bunch. Do you want more? Relief for the next committee.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna just jump in. Real quick.
Thanks, Jenny.
Regional zoning is not
Ye-
feasible.
Even, we could, one thing I noticed, we talked about the events online and everything else at the last meeting. I was just seeing if we could maybe check in with like Friends of Madison County Parks and Trail, Merrimack Miracles, and maybe look into putting some of their events on our events calendar for the city. Just
Yeah, and everybody is always welcome to, anybody that tells me
Anybody
anything.
that emails us.
And in fact, just
for
this,
some reason, it's like they never think of that as, hey, the route to go.
oh,
So
you
maybe
don't
just
have to.
check
And
in and say
just in
hi.
the last week alone, I've met with both of those groups.
Yeah.
So
And that's what I mean is I see them like, how do we get out there more? It's like,
they have to tell me, yeah, they have to tell me.
And
And to
so-
make it even easier, I made a whole webpage on our website about the digital sign, how to submit your request, what fonts work, what doesn't work, how it's gotta be landscaped. Like there's an entire page that literally walks people through how to essentially advertise through the city.
thank you.
They
ma'am.
just,
Landon, can we get a toilet at the dog park? It's a medical need at this point, because there are some people that will walk their dogs and if they have to go to the bathroom, they can't just go running next to the fence. So that was my only piece for Landon.
Medical need to have a bathroom there?
Yes. Yes,
Medical
that's
need to
my
have
main
what?
complaint that
So that they want something year
just a porta
round?
potty. No, just a porta potty.
No, but year round have one there. When I don't put that at the other.
They're not
places.
out there through the winter. So I'd say, hey, kind of April to November would be fine.
I'll discuss that with my Parks and Rec commissioner or something like that. but-
Yep, maybe next meeting we talk about that.
Yeah. And I currently paid 3 of them. It's eating into the operating line that's. they never
Be happy
came
to
out
give you
before.
extra if you need to, but
So,
having that, yeah.
All right. Let's
I'm done.
try to get done here. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Our next meeting would be April 14th, 5 o'clock.
We might need to find a new day.
All right.
We're gonna have.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
While you guys are here, Tommy,